Harriet Tubman was born in the year 1822 in Dorchester County, Maryland, United States. Just like her older siblings, she was born into slavery under the ownership of Brodess, one of the most respected slave owners in Dorchester County. At the age of 5, her owner hired her out to a woman who had just given birth. Harriet started serving as a housemaid, looking after a baby. At midnight, whenever the baby cried, Harriet was mercilessly whipped. A few years later, she started serving at the home of a wealthy planter and was forced to work even after contracting measles. Later on, her illness became worse and she had to run back to her owner. After her recovery from measles, Harriet was assigned to field and forest work, where she was busy plowing, driving oxen, and hauling logs. When she became a teenager, she sustained a very severe and lasting injury on the forehead. One of her overseers threw a 2-pound metallic object at a slave for trying to escape while working in the field. However, the object hit Harriet instead, breaking her skull and rendering her unconscious as she bled uncontrollably. Owing to this injury, Harriet often suffered from painful headaches subsequently. At the age of 25, after her owner had died, she was placed for sale, but at the time, Harriet was tired of slavery. She couldn't take it anymore and then began making plans for an escape. In the year 1849, Harriet ran away at midnight. For several days, she traveled on foot to Philadelphia, where she found solace. When she arrived in Philadelphia, fortunately, she was accommodated by a free black woman who also gave her a job. After staying in Philadelphia for a year, Harriet decided to head back to Maryland to rescue her family. However, this was a very dangerous thing to do. She could get caught and face severe torture, or worse, she could even get executed. Harriet wasn't threatened by all these factors. She traveled back to Maryland and was able to rescue her family successfully some weeks later. After her family's rescue, she was still interested in rescuing other slaves in Maryland. With support from the network of anti-slavery activists and safe houses known as the Underground Railroad, Harriet made more than 10 missions, rescuing about 70 slaves. This was something no one had ever done. It was considered impossible, but she left everyone in absolute astonishment after rescuing these slaves. Harriet eventually became one of America's most instrumental abolitionists and a renowned political activist. To this day, history regards her as a courageous woman who contributed immensely to the abolition of slavery. We all have our desires. There's always something we want so badly. We all crave certain things, but most times, there are obstacles in the way that usually make us feel it's impossible for us to get what we want. These obstacles or roadblocks make us feel like we aren't capable of doing the impossible. However, that's not the truth. The truth is, when you strongly desire to have something, you will definitely get it. As long as there's a will, you can possibly achieve the impossible. Robert Schuller said, "The only place where your dream becomes impossible is in your own thinking." When you have a dream, there is actually no one who can put a stop to it except you. Your dream is very possible and you can make it happen. Your dream can only become impossible when you think it is. You can do the impossible as long as you believe it. Sir Walter Scott said, "To the timid and uncertain mind, everything is impossible because it seems so." As someone who's struggling with timidity, a lot of things would seem impossible to you. You have to stop being timid and start facing your fears with great courage. If you can do this, then it means you can achieve the impossible. Tommy Lasoda said, "The difference between impossible and possible lies in a man's determination. Anything is possible if only you can be determined to attempt it. No matter how big that dream is, be assured that it can be achieved if you will chase it with determination." Harriet Tubman did the impossible by independently freeing herself and many other slaves from slavery. You too can achieve the impossible.